Okay, so let's go with example 4. And if I haven't already said so already, if you want a challenge, you can go ahead and do this example on your own and then watch the video after you do the examples and see if you got the same answer as me. But if you prefer to watch a video, then by all means. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start by identifying our two figures. So over here, I can see what appears to be a rectangular prism. So we're going to call figure A a rectangular prism. And so I know I'm going to use the formula for a rectangular prism for that. Over on this side, we have a rectangular prism, which I'll call figure B. So that means I'm going to use two different formulas from here. So my first formula, volume of figure A, is going to be the volume of a rectangular prism, which is given by our base, which is width times length, times the altitude. Or that's not how you spell altitude. There we go. So let's plug in what we know. So our width is, I'm going to call it 10. So we have 10 times our length, which is 8. And remember, you could multiply these in whichever order. So you could have done 8 times 10 or 10 times 8. You would still get 80. Times our altitude, which is 8, given by this side right here. So let's go and evaluate this. So V sub A, or volume of figure A, is going to be 8 times 8, which is 64. 64 times 10 is 640. And let's not forget our units, centimeters cubed. So that's the volume of this figure right here. So let's go ahead and find the volume of our triangular prism, figure B. So figure B is given by the formula of base, which is going to be our triangle area, so which is 1/2 base times height times our altitude. So let's plug in what we know. So our base will be 12. So base is going to be 12. And our height is given by this length right here, which is 8 centimeters. And honestly, you could have decided to have this as your base, so pretend that you tilt your head about 90 degrees to the right, and that would have been our bottom. So each one would have worked, since communication or multiplication is commutative, so it didn't matter which order you multiply them, as long as that was your base. So that, for example, the hypotenuse couldn't have been our base. So that's that. So then our altitude is actually going to be this length right here. Since our triangle is given by this face right here, our altitude is this length right here, which also happens to be 8. So times our altitude, which is 8. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. So volume of figure B is given by 1/2, so 0.5 times 12 times 8 times 8, which is equal to 384 centimeters cubed. So we want to find the total volume of this composite figure, which is equal to the sum of volume of figure A plus the volume of figure B. So we go ahead and add those up. So volume of figure A was 640 centimeters cubed, plus volume figure B, which is 384 centimeters cubed. When we add those two numbers together, we get 384 plus 640, which is equal to 1,024 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters is another way to pronounce that. So that is our answer. So once again, we identified our two figures, which it was a rectangular prism and a triangular prism, and used the according formulas to find each volume. Then we found the sum of each volume to find the volume of our composite figure. So once you write that down, go ahead and move on to the next example.